What's going on, everybody? Rob here, aka Trev2323. If you hear that noise in the background, that's my Harbor Freight 26-gallon air compressor. I complain about it all the time, but it saves my butt all the time. It is loud, it has to keep refilling up, but I use the air gun to do that whole back to build it. I mean, toenail and everything. But today we're going over this rim right here, and we got some tires right here that we got to put on today. 195 6015 Goodyear Vivas on sale. I got them for 50 bucks each, regular $62 each. Okay, so we needed a new rim because the other rim was actually rusted out right here really bad. So I don't got the car here yet. I'm just trying to get ready. We got the Atlas wheel balancer WB42 and the Atlas TC589X. Why isn't there a light on in here? It's only the outlet that's connected right now due to the fact that I'm rebuilding the back and I didn't run the wire for the 220 line and all that. We got two Harbor Freight jacks right here. Harbor Freight 3-ton jack, Harbor Freight low profile 3-ton jack. Love them to death. Okay, how are we gonna do this right here? I gotta go get them. Actually, I thought I had them, but this is from Eastwood, all tire and lube, and this is a valve stem puller right here. You could use pliers, you could use everything else. This is the best thing to use and the easiest thing to use to pull a valve stem through right here. Let me get the valve stems. We got the valve stems right here, 1 1/4 long. I prefer 1 1/2 long. These are 1 1/4 TR 600 HP, but it says fits rim hole 0.453. I wish they would stamp on the rims what size hole you need, so I have no idea, but normally when I pull them through it's pretty fine. But right here, before you put this on, you actually have to lube it up really good with all tire rubber lubricant. I got that right there from Eastwood. Eastwood, I get a lot of my stuff from either Eastwood or Harbor Freight or Lowe's for the Craftsman products. The tires I got on sale at Walmart. So these are the sorry if you can't hear me, my compressor is trying to fill up the back tank for the bead blaster on the Atlas. But either way, this is the stem right here. This is pretty crazy because I haven't seen a really big brass one. So this is the tire lubricant right here. I keep this in a bag right here, and I keep this in here because I don't use a tire machine enough to keep it filled up with this, and I don't want to waste it. Okay, so all you do is you lube it up right here and right here. That's all it takes, is that right there, that little bit of lube right there. When you put this through right here, I gotta use 2 hands right now, but I'm gonna put this through and then I'm gonna screw the valve stem puller. Let me put the stand on this right. All right, so when you put your valve stem through here, it's lubed on both sides. This has to be screwed onto here. You could pull it through with pliers, you could pull it through with whatever you want to pull it through with. This is the easiest way to do it right here. You screw that on pretty tight, and all it does is it leans on the rim and it pulls your valve stem through. That is in already. That's in tight already, all the way to the back. You can get these on the internet. Valve stem pullers, if you want to work on your own tires, is one of the best things to have. It's just that simple to pull it through, and you've been fighting with pliers, and sometimes you rip the rubber on that with the pliers, and once it's through, you just go ahead and unscrew it. Unscrew it off. So as long as you can't push it back through, oh, it's good to go. Okay, and the air pressure is going to hold it through. Now what I'm going to do is dust this off, and then I'm going to put some bead sealer on it, so I can put one of those tires on it right now. So my daughter pulls up, I could just go ahead and switch out one tire for her. So since I got the rim off right here, I'll show you right now. Let me get some bead sealer. Hi everybody, Rob here, Trev2323. This is going to be part 2. I put the valve stem in the other video. Now this right here is going to be setting the tire on the rim. That's the rim. When you put the rim on the machine, see the rim, this fat part has to be on the bottom. This little part goes on the top, and this fat part is what the rim clamps on right here. But since I have it off the machine right now, I got bead sealer. I'm going to put bead sealer around the top of the rim, because you can't see this when it clamps onto this, but you can see this, and I'm outside, so you have to put some bead sealer all the way around both parts of the rim. Now you put the tire lube on this right here, And in my eyes, it always counteracts itself, but that's how I do it. I put the bead sealer on this lip and this lip, because if you have it on a machine like this, you can never get this lip, and when you look, you see how much you really do miss it. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it on here since the rim is off the machine, put it around here, and then when I put it on the machine, then I'll do this part right here. And since this is a new rim, it just has to be dusted off, and the bead sealer will go ahead and just put it around right there, just the lip of the rim. I keep the bead sealer inside the house. I live in Chicago, so I keep the bead sealer inside my basement because I don't want it to, my garage isn't heated. So, and then when I clamp it on the machine, I'll go ahead and, I don't know how good you're gonna see when I clamp it, but we'll go ahead and clamp it. So that's the top. It's completely bead sealed all the way around. Now I'm gonna take the rim and we're gonna clamp it on the machine. Now, see, I got my compressor in the basement, and I don't know how we're gonna do in the light right here because I have almost no light. That's a TC589 wheel balancer. I want to lock the rim, so when I want to lock the rim, you use the middle one. And that rim is locked in place right now. So I keep my air gauge right here. This TC589 has a bead blast set, but I just use my bead blast. I got a bootleg Cheetah basically. So I got to put the bead sealer on the lower part, and then I'm gonna put the lube on the tire right here. I did some of this outside so you can see it, but now I'm gonna put the bead sealer on the lower part. Okay, with the TC589, I know there's dim light right here, but the handle up top right here allows you to set your clamp right here where you need it at. I'm gonna go get the light right here so you can see this. Okay, with the Ozark Trail LED right here, get it, it's 22 bucks. You're gonna see the difference right now. You're gonna be able to see everything. How about them apples? That's the Ozark Trail little programmable LED light for 4 hours. Okay, so there's the handle for the wheel balancer. You pull that down and it allows you to put the lever on the rim right there. So let me go get the tire now. There's the rim, it's clamped on. I use the middle button to clamp it on. So let me go get the tire before this dries. Okay, so the tire's sitting right there. This isn't this tire could be mounted either way. There's some tires that say mount this side outside. This tire can be mounted either way on the rim. I still got some lube on here, so I'm putting it around here, because if you don't lube up this tire when you're going ahead and setting it on there, it's gonna, you got a chance of ripping the bead, and you don't want the bead ripped when you're putting it on there. If you could get that off, you get that off, but I never have getting that off, so I just go ahead and leave that on. But the bead sealer actually seals that pretty good. But you need some tire, and use tire lube. A lot of people use laundry soap. You can pick up one of these of tire lube for 20 bucks and it'll last you a long time. Okay, so this right here, let me get you over here. You gotta put the tire on an angle and put this in here, and then you put the tire over it. See how it's slipped over it? And then you hit this button to turn it, and it sets your first bottom bead. See, that bottom bead is set. And then you go ahead and you get your tire over the back and under this right here, and then you hit that again, and it's so much easier with lube. But you push down on one side and then the other side just pops right in place. So that tire is set, that tire is on. Okay, what you want to do is get the bead over here where your air line is right here. So you put your air line in. It still has a little plug in there, so I'm gonna try to set it with that in there. Actually, it is filling up, so let me keep going with that. It's gonna take a while to pop, and then when I hear a pop, that's when I actually loosen it up. It's the rest of the bead is set, and it got it set right there. That's the place. Okay, now when that's set, then you go ahead and loosen the rim. Okay, and here's your PSIs right here. So with that little button right there, you can fill up the rest of the rim. The other bead pops. Now we're trying to get some air pressure in there. Let me see. Not filling it up. It's just that not this right here is getting old and it's not set right, so when I'm pushing on it, a lot of air is coming out is what it is. I kind of got to hold it in a right position to get my air pressure. And right now with my big compressor over there not working, well, it's not that it's not working, it's not even connected yet. I'm trying to get this where I don't have to connect this the tire machine. There it is. Let's go ahead and all the way now. Take it off. Because if I disconnect this Atlas right now, the whole back of that big tank back there is gonna empty. And then I gotta use the little Harbor Freight compressor to refill it. I don't want to do that. So let me get this. I just want to explain that to you, and then I'll get this up to. I'm gonna go probably with 40 pounds, and then we'll balance it. Okay, before you balance it, here's one thing that you do. This is just a bottle of dishwasher soap and water. I can't find my spray bottle now, but you got to put it around your rim here, and you put it in your. You put some in the wheel stem right there. And then you put some on your tire like this. You don't gotta keep pouring it. All you do is you let it kind of roll around, and you roll it around, because if that you'll believe me, you'll see if it foams up. And if it foams up, that's where you're leaking at. This is a brand new tire, so I'm not testing the treads. I'm just testing the bead that I sealed with the bead sealer. See them little bubbles right there? They'll just keep bubbling and make it more if it's leaking. And even at the valve stem right here or up here, if it's leaking with just soapy water, you'll see it leaking. You'll just see bubbles just building and building and building if you had a leak right there. Now there's bubbles there, but they're not continuing to grow. They're just there because I put it on there. So this side is good. So now I gotta flip it over to the other side, and you got a bead on the other side there. So you do the exact same thing on the other side. This bead should be sealed. So you do is, see, it sits in the bead right there. And if you just roll the tire around, it goes all the way around the bead. And you just look to see if anything, see, you just follow it around, if anything is bubbling up. So this has 40 pounds of air in it. Nothing is bubbling up. You watch the whole thing as it go around the rim. Now this rim and tire are ready to be balanced. Let me put the little top on the valve stem right here, and then we're gonna go ahead and balance it. That's the next video.